Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hybrid Movies episode 11, part 2, the redo. Because, the first attempt at recording this episode was not the best, and it kind of got lost. There was a technical snafu, I guess you could say, and that will never see the light of day. But
it's gone in the void.
Yeah, so of course you guys know me. I'm Nick, I'm the host, and I'm joined, of course, by Michael, aka Fairweather34.
What a dooski, guys. Glad to be here on the second go.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just us again, I think.
Just us today.
What was the other episode that it was the Get Out review or something, or was that?
Yeah, that might have been maybe 6 or 7? I want to say 6.
Yeah. Yep, so we've had to do this in the past, but how are you doing today, before we get into everything?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. Doing pretty good. As I mentioned in the last one that's gone, we'll stop talking about that now. Iron Fist has come out, so I've been doing my binge reactions to that on my channel and just trying to catch up with that. That's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 2 days, just watching and editing. Now I'm here. How about you?
Okay, I just got done recording a commentary track for Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi movie, with Will and Tim. So
nice.
Be sure to check that out. I think it's going to be on Patreon first, and then SoundCloud probably a few days after. And then, you just, go listen to it there with your copy of Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, keep your eyes out, guys. Spider-Man 2 is a solid movie.
Yeah, I also, too, want to mention that if you haven't already seen, we also have a commentary for the Alien Director's Cut that me and Michael also recorded, too. That's up on YouTube, so you can go, listen to that while you're watching the movie. And also, I think... What else do we want to plug here, too?
We got more things to plug.
Let's see. Iron Fist, we did a bunch of Iron Fist videos, too. If you haven't watched that over the weekend, go check
Ending
all
Explains.
that stuff out. Yes. I think that's everything to plug. So let's get into movies that we recently saw. Are there any movies that you got to catch over the past week?
Nick, unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to see anything. It's been just like a little crazy week for me in terms of just like, like school and just like other YouTube videos. So I didn't get to see a movie. However, I did get to see Iron Fist, but that's a TV show, so the answer is no.
Yeah, that's for when we launch Hybrid TV Talk.
Yes, that is.
So,
but how about you, man? Any movies you've seen this week?
No, I decided to skip out. I think I mentioned it last episode that I wasn't really looking forward to anything coming out. Just what was it? This weekend was the Belko Experiment, Trainspotting 2, and Beauty and the Beast. So I elected not to see any of those. But looking forward to next week's movies, we have Life, Power Rangers, and Chips, and I'm interested in all three of those. Honestly, I think Power Rangers is my number one to anticipate, just because I want to see it. Like, it's been something...
And we've all been pretty hyped.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. More and more trailers and posters. We're, kind of learning more about the movie. And it was recently confirmed that there is going to be, a post-credits teaser. If the movie does well, it obviously will lead into the next one. So, that's cool. But what are you looking forward to out of those three movies?
I'll be completely honest. I didn't even know Life was coming out this week.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. For some reason, I thought it was, at the end of the month, not this week coming up. I'm excited to see Power Rangers. Like we mentioned, we've been talking about it a lot on the shows, just in general, and our PMs and whatnot. I got actually early screening tickets to it as well. I won a contest, so I'm excited to check it out. Just to see how that's going to shape up, because there's been a lot of talk about it. Some people are saying it may be the new Fan Forestic because we've mentioned it before. What's it called?
The embargo.
Yeah, the embargo doesn't lift until right before the movie comes out, so that's not the greatest sign. They could be hiding it being a stinker and what people think about it. But
it's a stinky.
Who knows? It could be a hot dookie.
But there is a post-credit scene, so hopefully, they're banking everything on this being a big movie.
They are, man. And as with regards to Life, like I mentioned, I'm seeing Power Rangers on Wednesday, so maybe on Friday, if Life is getting some pretty good reviews, I might check it out if I have the time.
Yeah, right before we started recording, actually, I went on that one website and I got a printable pass for Life for Wednesday too. So.
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
Was there one for Toronto?
I think so. Because there were a lot of them. Just click on the Sony website to print out the screening thing.
Hey guys, you can check it out for yourself if you live in a city that has those.
Yeah. So definitely. Hopefully I'll check it out. It's in Burbank. It's kind of a drive, but I might go see it, just to check it out.
You love Alien, so you might like this.
Maybe. But I've been talking about how it's kind of it looks too much like it's trying to be Alien, though. I wish it was a little different, but
Uncanny. Well, it's gonna be tied to a anti-hero in the Marvel Universe.
Untold origin. So yeah, I guess with that said, though, definitely I'm gonna check out Power Rangers this weekend, and I think we're both gonna check it out, and I might see Life too. So there's that. What about Chips? Is that in your interest at all? Or?
That I don't. I'm actually not even too sure which one that. What was that about?
It's exactly? Like a remake, or I guess you could say it's like a movie version of an old TV show, kind of like 21 Jump Street was, and Baywatch too.
Oh, okay. It's like an 80s show?
Yeah, I think it was was it 70s? I think it was a 70s show about like California Highway Patrol officers, cops, and, freeway patrol guys.
Comedy?
Is
it like a serious thing?
Yeah, the movie, it's going the whole R-rated comedy route, like Baywatch, pretty much, so...
Okay. For a second, I was thinking of Chappie, and I'm like, they got a sequel? Are you kidding me?
No. Chips. Yeah, it's different. But I don't know. Like, the trailer looked okay, but that's not really a movie that I'm, like, waiting to see or anything, so I probably won't see it.
Yeah, it's got some pretty tough competition.
Oh, yeah. Life. Yeah, so I guess with that out of the way, though, we can move into talking about the box office for this weekend, because there were some pretty big surprises, actually.
This was the big one we've been waiting for.
Yeah, this is the movie that you've been peddling. It's going to make more than Jurassic World. I don't know, is that...
Well, I mean, by the box office from the weekend, I don't know, man.
Yeah, so...
Might come close.
Yeah, I guess we can go through the top 5 here. So, first up, at number 5, we had The Shack at $6 million. I don't even... Have you heard of that movie?
You know what? I saw a poster for it from a little while ago, but didn't really catch my interest.
Yeah, it had like Sam Worthington, Octavia Spencer, I think, was in it too. It looked like a weird movie, like this weird religious movie about like spiritual stuff. I wasn't really into it. It looked weird, like a Lifetime movie or something when I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, and who's making that one? What studio?
I think it's Lionsgate distributed it, so not too interested in that one. But at number 4, we have Get Out still hanging in there.
Yeah, man, Get Out's
made $13 million this weekend, so
doing well.
Pretty good. It's almost at that 150 mark that I predicted.
Yo, guys, Nick is he's on fire with his predictions. He's like 2 for 2 now.
Yeah, because I knew Get Out would be a big movie. Like it's just like with these smaller movies, it's all about word of mouth. Like if people see it, they tell all their friends.
100%.
It gets good reviews and stuff.
And you can even go back to the old episodes. Nick was like saying, remember? He was like, yeah, like we were talking about how we thought the trailers weren't that great, but you were saying like back then, 3 weeks before, the movie was fantastic. So yeah,
exactly, and it got good reviews. And except for it didn't have a perfect review until Armand White.
Yeah,
it's like nope.
It was at 100 until he had to come step in and just be like, nope. I maybe haven't even seen the movie too when other people read it.
He had to he gave that one rotten review. So
yeah.
So at number 3 we have Logan still in there, 17 million. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And its worldwide total is now nearing 550 million, which is a huge get because I think the movie was made for 97 million.
So it's made its money well.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it'll be as big as Deadpool because that was like a huge kind of like comedy. It had like no competition when Deadpool came out.
It did have 50 Shades, I think, but I think that was even.
Did it? Like, it did actually. I think so. Yeah, because it came out in like the Valentine's Day weekend, I think.
Yeah.
So it did. I guess it had that competition, but still, I think
2 different audiences. I'd say
Deadpool was a little bit more of like a kind of upbeat comedy kind of thing, and Logan is like super depressing, but still really good. It's good because it's good that this movie made a lot of money because it also again proves to Fox that okay, we can make R-rated movies and be fine, and other studios too.
Exactly.
So coming in at number 2, we had Kong Skull Island at 28 million, and let me see, the worldwide total is now at 259. 259
worldwide. Okay. Yeah. And it's only in its second week.
Yeah, it cost 185, which is actually pretty big. But that it is a Warner Bros movie. They have a tendency to kind of like balloon their production budgets. They get a little carried away.
They got to feed that miscellaneous cocaine budget.
Oh my god! Because remember, Suicide Squad cost more than $250, which is crazy. And BVS was over 400 in production budget. That's like a massive movie. But
what are we? Some sort of extended, overpriced production universe? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I think Kong has legs, hopefully, and it'll keep
And the
making
big
money
one.
because they're that's another studio that's planning out their cinematic universe with the Godzillas and all that stuff. So
Hey, if you think about it, looking at all of them, the top 4,
yeah,
they're in a way you could say they're trying to do expanded universes.
what was that? Logan and Kong and
Yeah, Beauty and Get Out too.
Get Out
Because
The Get Out universe?
Jordan Peele said he's going to be making other kinds of horror comedies and whatever, not comedies, but like similar kinds of films.
yeah.
And he said in the same universe.
That's interesting. I wonder how that's going to work out. But I mean, I'm guessing it's happening with the box office turn on that.
Oh, definitely.
So I guess we can talk about number 1 here. Of course, Beauty and the Beast at 170 million opening. Crazy stuff.
170.
That
beat BVS.
Yeah, that's holding the new record for March opening weekend. And Beauty and the Beast cost 160, and it's made 350 worldwide already.
Jesus. It's so literally just the 170 opening already did beat what it cost to make.
Yeah, domestic too. It's great.
Yeah, that's domestic, dude. They're gonna just rake it up. Like we've been saying for weeks now. Like I've been preaching, like Beauty and the Beast is gonna make a stupid amount of money, which it did. Are you expecting legs on it, Nick?
That's what I was gonna get to. I don't know if it's gonna have the staying power as some of the other movies, just because there's been like a negative response, I think, surrounding it. I don't think it's like, I haven't heard like people saying like it's the worst movie ever, but I think there's kind of people that are saying like, it wasn't really necessary, didn't add anything new. It was same old, stuff like that. And plus there was the whole controversy too of LaFoe surrounding it too. Which
I'm with you there. I think you hit it on the head with them not adding anything new. I think some people really had an issue with that because the other previous Disney live adaptations, a lot of them brought something to them. Yeah, but Nick, what are some standouts for you from the box office?
I think honestly, like Get Out and Logan still hanging in there at pretty solid, returns weekend to weekend. I think.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. They're on their 3rd and 4th week. For Logan's 3, Get Out's 4.
Yeah, Get Out's 4th weekend, and yeah, it's Beauty and the Beast too. It's a crazy number to hit 170 in March. I mean, that's a huge opening weekend. I mean, people would be happy to hit that in summer at the prime time. So yeah, that movie's gonna be pretty big. But I guess with that out of the way, do we want to talk about some news that came out recently?
Yes, there's been some interesting things developing.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, apparently Warner Bros. Is looking to reboot The Matrix, but not exactly a remake of the Neo story. They're going to do a young Morpheus prequel, and Michael B. Jordan is rumored to be their Morpheus. Interesting. When I heard the news initially, I thought, oh, they're just going to redo it, right? But then I heard the whole story details about it. I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh shit, what up?
Oh, yeah, because like I wasn't like, I'm not a huge fan of The Matrix. I really like the first movie, but like just the idea of doing a story like that has me kind of interested because it's something different, and it seems like the logical way to take it without doing just the same thing over and over again. So I don't know. What do you think about the young Morpheus thing?
I mean, another franchise going for the younger version of one of the main / side characters, a Han Solo movie with Donald Glover being the young. No, I'm the young Lando. I'm just playing. But no, I think I saw some people on Twitter kind of really expressing their opinions, like, "Oh no, don't do this, Hollywood, no." I think I'm a little more optimistic about it. I think Michael B. Jordan's a pretty solid actor. The Matrix, I mean, Hollywood has been like rebooting, reshooting, recycling.
Yeah, that's all. They just keep mining all their franchises forever.
Exactly. So The Matrix was on the chopping block. It was going to happen anytime soon. So I'm kind of buying it. Let's I want to hear some
buy
more
or
news.
sell, you buy.
I'm buying it.
But it's funny too because we're talking about Warner Brothers kind of bringing back The Matrix. I was talking to the chat the other day about another franchise that I'm honestly really shocked they haven't even talked about bringing back, which is Lord of the Rings.
See, now does that feel too soon?
It might be, but the last one came out in, what was it, 2014 or something? The last Hobbit movie?
The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
No, the last Hobbit. The last time we got to Middle-earth, I think it was 2014.
Okay, I would say The Hobbit is still like relatively new, but like Lord of the Rings, when was the last one?
Oh, the last Lord of the Rings, I want to say that was in 06 or 07.
I'm trying to think, is that for some reason it feels so close, or it's just always so talked about that I feel like it was close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. Return of the King was 2003. I was way off. Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
Wow, those movies like really hold up. Holy shit. Because, that makes sense actually. Because I think Fellowship was in 2000, 2001, and then they released them year after year, so 2002, and then 2003. So that makes a lot of sense actually. But The Hobbit was a lot more recent, yeah. But like I was saying, my pitch for bringing back the Lord of the Rings would be to do a prequel.
A young.
No, not a young No, not a young Bilbo. No, we did that already. I was saying to do a prequel where it's like focusing on the original rings before like Sauron made his golden ring or whatever.
Okay.
Because they kind of gloss over that in the first movie, and like there's like a little prologue scene that's like 5 minutes, and they're like, in the beginning of time there was like a certain amount of rings that went to the dwarves and the humans and the elves. I think it would be cool to do like a movie series about that time period.
That sounds like it could be pretty nifty.
Yeah, because you could expand the lore again, like they did with The Hobbit, and they could kind of do it like less so on the whole like orc story, and like just have it be kind of like a conflict between the three factions or species, like elves, dwarves, and humans. Kind of like a Game of Thrones, actually.
I was gonna say it sounds like some Game of Thrones, or like a mix of like World of Warcraft in there.
Scheming against each other.
I'd be down for that. That sounds dope.
Because that's originally what the whole story was. That's the whole reason that the dude Sauron, the big eyeball guy, whatever, made the golden ring, because he wanted to be above all of them. I think that would be it.
If anyone's hearing this in Power in Hollywood,
I mean, come on, Warner Brothers, hire me. I'll write your script and I'll be your.
Hey, well, if you guys don't know, Nick, he's actually trying to get into screenwriting. That's one thing he's going to be doing in the future. Am I right?
Yeah. So right there, boom! I just outlined a whole Lord of the Rings reboot plot, bringing it back. Bam. Where's my check?
That's like, where's my money?
Yeah, speaking of another franchise that's outlining a shit ton of movies, Alien, Ridley Scott.
It's literally just all these big franchises from the past. It's his franchise week, guys.
Yeah, we talked about Avatar last week. That's another one that's like, oh my god. Mm-hmm. But Alien, apparently Ridley Scott might have slipped the title of the next movie, which is Alien Awakening, and he's also said that after Awakening he's planning another prequel trilogy that's set before Alien again. So I'm like, okay,
my boy has stamina. That's what I'm gonna say.
He's approaching 80 this year, so I mean,
yeah,
from what I've seen of like interviews of him and like behind the scenes stuff on Prometheus and then Covenant, it seems like he's got tons of energy and he's really gearing up to do these movies. So I would say if he wants to do them, I say sure, but I just don't know how you could keep that story interesting for 6 movies, doing the whole where do the aliens come from, what do they do, that kind of thing. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, Nick, I think you hit it right on the head right there. Ridley Scott, I rate you, man. One of my favorites.
Oh, you hear that clip I sent yesterday?
Yeah, they sent me like the greatest clip of just Ridley Scott being a G.
That's from his Prometheus commentary. If you haven't heard that, whoever's listening, if you haven't heard his commentary for Prometheus, there's a part where he's kind of like talking about like, oh, in this scene I have like a hologram thing, and obviously the actors didn't see that on the day. So they're just kind of like, oh, what's this hologram thing? Like, what the fuck is that? And then he's like, sometimes you just have to say, honestly, shut the fuck up. I'm the director. Fuck off. It's like...
He's so good. I remember that one time he was like, you guys want aliens? I'll give you fucking aliens.
Yeah, it's like, he doesn't care. He's just like, whatever. It was funny, too, how he's like, I have more films in this goddamn building and 3 in the Library of Congress. It's like, oh my god, but...
Yeah, but with that being said, though, if you can make more Alien movies, I'm down. But I think maybe after you get this Awakening movie done, close up that trilogy of, Prometheus, Alien Covenant nicely. And then, I think people are we already did as much as we could, I think. Or without being boring or repetitive, then maybe move on to something like an Alien 5 or, continuing the story.
Yeah, or just, or like what Star Wars is doing with the standalone movies. They can do stuff like that, Alien standalone, movie about I don't know, outpost with mantis aliens or some shit like that. I don't know, something.
And exactly, and like you said, like mantis aliens, the Civil War. There's just so many. There's so much rich things in the alien, in the lore that I've just been like discovering through like your videos, Nick, and some other people like Mr. H and whatnot that just are so interesting. And the fan base is there, at least on the internet, and I think it could make for some really great films and stories that I want to see explored.
Yeah, so I'm all for more Alien movies. I'm for Alien movies forever, but I just don't know how I feel about doing prequel Alien movies forever.
That being said, though, if he has an idea that is like revolutionary,
oh yeah,
like it has to be like the fucking best thing ever, then hey, why not go for it? Go for it.
Exactly. So I hope it all works out. But moving on to our final topic here, we got our first poster for Stephen King's The Dark Tower, which is actually set to come out this July. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was coming out next year.
Damn, this is the first thing I think we've seen, if I'm not mistaken.
There have been some official images released and a bunch of set photos from the movie, but this is our first kind of like... I think this is the first, I want to say, marketing piece for the movie.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And
hey man,
I was just gonna say really quick, I think that we might
it.
see some, we won't see it, but I think there might be some footage shown at CinemaCon, which I think is at the end of this month.
Okay, yeah, I would expect something because, like you said, July, dude. It's coming fairly soon.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see what studio this is for. Are you familiar with the Dark Tower story, though?
I'll be completely honest. I'm not really too familiar. I'm familiar with Stephen King, though. I mean, he's Stephen King. Like, come on. So I'm hoping it's going to be pretty solid. This is a series of 8 books, though. That's when I was researching it.
Yeah, did you see that Idris Elba is playing the main character and Matthew McConaughey is the
villain? So if it's Matthew McConaughey, then it's probably Warner Brothers?
No, it's Sony, actually. Columbia. Oh, it's interesting.
Sony, okay.
Okay. Wow, okay. I'm a little bit worried, actually. Yeah.
Oh, man. But what are your thoughts on the poster, this trippy looking...
yeah, it looks cool. It's like some kind of Inception thing here going on.
Yeah,
it's actually cool though how it got Idris Elba. He's like the good guy on the bottom, and then on the top it's flipped upside down. You got Matthew McConaughey. He's like the dark side, the Man in Black evil guy. Hopefully it works out. Like I love both of those actors, and I really want to see them because I don't think they've been in a movie together like that, like where they're kind of playing opposites or something.
Yeah, not that I recall. But yeah, no. For me, I think this is a pretty dope looking poster. If anything, if I had to be like little like critique here and there, I think the Dark Tower. I think it might have been cool if it was going. I didn't have to turn my head to the side to see it.
Oh, the font.
Going down. Yeah, the font. If it was just
you
going
gotta
down
turn your head.
instead.
What does that say? The path and something. I don't know. But
yeah, exactly. I like the imagery. I think it looks really cool. It reminds me of Looper. I want to say for some reason.
Oh.
Him just standing. I don't know.
Okay.
It pops in my head.
Yeah, so comment below, Stephen King fans, if you guys are looking forward to this adaptation, because I know it has gotten a little bit of flack for certain things, and people are kind of worried about Sony being behind it, but I'm going to give it some faith and check it out, because also another Stephen King movie that's kind of getting brought back to the live-action format is It. The new It movie is coming out.
Yes.
So I hope that both of those properties work out for Stephen King, because I want to see some more movies of his adapted, so yeah. But yeah, with all that said, let's move on to our last segment of the show where we talk about our viewer questions that we got from you guys. So
yeah, thank you guys for sending these, by the way, every single week. We really appreciate them.
Yeah, remember that time where we had the same questions get submitted like every week?
Yeah. Oh man, we appreciate those people too.
That is dedication right there, because we sometimes we don't actually get to answer every question, so it does help out actually. So yeah, but the first question here is from Scott O'Plier Pop Cult Fan. He says, since Ridley Scott wants to keep doing Alien movies as long as he can, how would you guys plan out sequels to bridge Covenant and the other prequel films to the original film?
All right, Nick, that's all you.
Oh my god. I feel like there's going to be a lot that they have to do in the next prequel movie, Awakening. Covenant takes place 20 years before the first Alien movie with Ripley and the Nostromo, but they kind of have to like establish a lot of stuff in this universe. Like they have to establish that Weyland-Yutani is around. How do they know about the alien being on that planet so that they can reroute their ship to go investigate it? Just kind of stuff like that. They have to establish first, I think. That's the most important part to me, just finding out, okay, what's the alien, where did it come from, and then how did the company know to send their ship to that planet? Those are the questions I want answered. I guess a couple things about the space jockey too, but I mean, that's how I would bridge them. I think there's not much else you can do, because even with prequels, you don't want to reveal the entire story of everything. You don't want everything to be answered, but I think that's pretty much what they should focus on, really. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think you got a lot of those right as well, man. There's a ton of stuff they have to really bridge together if they want to get back to what's it called, the very first movie. Because if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the timeline, it's like 20 years apart, right? I think from Covenant. Yeah,
so Prometheus took place in 2094. Covenant's 2104, so that's 10 years right there apart. Then Covenant to Alien 1 is 20 years gap, so...
Something like that. If I had to say a prequel idea, if it would make sense, along with all of those other things you mentioned, maybe a movie from Earth's perspective on the matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be pretty interesting. But like you mentioned too, I kind of want to keep some sort of mystery there. I don't want them to reveal too much, which is like, oh, I guess it's not as cool anymore now that I know every single detail.
Yeah.
But make maybe one prequel for me, I think, and then that's it.
Okay.
If they can wrap it all nicely.
All right. So yeah, thanks for the question. That is kind of a loaded question though. Maybe I've been
AVP.
talking to the guys at the AVP podcast about having an episode dedicated to just what we think and our ideas for more prequel movies. So maybe we can actually answer that better on that one. So yeah.
Shout out to you, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for that question. But moving on, Time Ascending says, "Hey Nick, how are you doing? Do you think there will be an alien queen in Covenant, or at the end of the film, which credits like a hidden gem or some sort?" No, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think it just. I don't think it makes sense. I think in the timeline, because in Covenant we're kind of seeing the alien in its kind of early forms. So.
Thanks for asking Nick that question.
Thank you. I like that. Yeah.
No, I think you're right there too. A queen, I doubt it. If anything, we'll be getting that crazy alien that we see at the end of the trailer. That is, it's weird. It reminds me of like an animal, like animalistic sort of.
Yeah, it's like a spider,
kind of jerky with its
legs
movements.
all spread out.
And it looks pretty big too, because it's on the ship.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be the closest thing to an alien, queen, but not the actual queen.
Okay. Next question. Warrior Cook says, which Disney movie should not be adapted to live action? What do you pick?
Bambi. Please, just no. I think we don't need to see that on screen live action.
Someone else pointed out in the comments 101 Dalmatians, because we already got 2 movies of that, I think.
Yeah, those did get done, so that's this for me. But Nick, how about you? Would you not want to see from Disney live action? What's too creepy? What wouldn't make sense?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame. No. I don't know. Yeah, Bambi, I guess. I don't know. Steamboat Willie, yeah. Fantasia.
Steamboat Willie,
listing off
a live-action masterpiece.
So.
Yeah, Fantasia actually. I'm kind of with you there. That'd be
okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Warrior. Those are just I named off a few random movies, but last question. Gman995 says, "I have a question that's a bit off topic though, but what happened to LV-426 besides the aliens Colonial Marine storyline? Any theories or explanations?"
Nick, again, I think that's all you.
Personally, I don't consider the video game Colonial Marines canon, because they kind of took a lot of liberties with the story. Even though Fox did approve, quote unquote, that it was canon, I think they quickly went back on that after the game came out, because they didn't know a lot of the stuff that they were going to do, like bringing Hicks back from the dead and things like that, just stuff that doesn't really make sense in the timeline of things. So I would look at Colonial Marines as not being canon, and I would say that after, what happened to LV-426, I think it just kind of got destroyed and it's just abandoned now. But there is that ship there still with all those eggs. So
could those be awakened possibly?
Yeah, maybe that's the plot of Alien 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to the planet again for the 3rd time and go through that ship.
Fuck it. Maybe things changed.
Yeah, I mean, it's who knows? It's hard to tell, but yeah, that does wrap up our questions, our Q&A portion of the show. So thank you guys again for sending the questions in, and if you want to get your questions answered next week, you can either tweet at us or drop them down below with the hashtag AskHybridMovies. And if you want to follow me on social media and tweet the questions at me, I'm on Twitter at who's_Nick. Michael, where can people find you?
Yes, you guys can check me out on my YouTube channel, Failwell34, as well on my social medias. Twitter is FailProduction1 and Instagram is Failwell34. I'm sorry, I think I had Failwell34 years before, but for some reason I'm banned, so it's a little different, but anyway.
That was Fail Production, right?
It's Fail Production 1, yeah. But if you type in Failwell34, I'll still pop up, but just to be sure.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that wraps up the show. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you guys next week.